I never thought I would become the kind of man who noticed small changes. I used to believe trust was simple. Either you had it or you didn't. I'm Adrian, 43, married for 11 years to Celeste, and until recently, I thought our marriage was steady, not exciting, not dramatic, just solid. We had routines, morning coffee, weekend groceries, shared jokes that only made sense to us. Nothing flashy, but dependable. That mattered to me. I worked logistics for a manufacturing firm, paid the mortgage, fixed things when they broke, showed up when it counted. Celeste worked in marketing, social, charming, always good with people. That was part of what drew me to her. She made rooms lighter. I never worried about that before. The shift didn't announce itself. It crept in quietly. She started spending more time on her phone, smiling at messages she didn't share. New clothes appeared, sharper, bolder than her usual style. When I asked, she laughed it off, said she was just feeling confident again. I told myself that was a good thing. I didn't want to be the insecure husband reading shadows into everything. Trust, remember, that was my thing. Then came the jokes. She'd mention a guy from work, Rowan, always with a grin. How he complimented her ideas. How he noticed details others missed. One night at dinner, she said, he flirts a little, but it's harmless fun. She said it casually, like commenting on the weather. I smiled, nodded, even though something tightened in my chest. Harmless. Fun. Two words that didn't sit right together in my head. I tried to ignore it. I focused on being present. I planned a short trip to the coast, booked a hotel, cleared my schedule. She went, but her attention stayed elsewhere. Notifications lit up her screen, face down on the table, buzzing like a secret. At dinner, she excused herself twice to take calls outside. When she came back, she was glowing in a way I hadn't seen directed at me in a long time. That night, lying beside her, I felt more alone than if the bed had been empty. Back home, the pattern solidified. Late nights. New inside jokes I wasn't part of. When I reached for her, she'd pull away gently, not angry, just absent. I finally asked, calmly, "Does this bother you if someone flirts with me?" She laughed, said, "You're not like that." I didn't know what that meant, but it felt dismissive, like a door closing softly but firmly. The moment that changed everything was ordinary. Tuesday evening, rain tapping the windows. She was on the sofa, scrolling. I sat across from her and said, "I'm uncomfortable with how close you are with Rowan." She didn't look up, just said, "You're overthinking it. Flirting is harmless fun." That was it. No pause, no reassurance, just a verdict. Something settled in me then, quiet and heavy. I realized I wasn't arguing about flirting. I was confronting disrespect. I wasn't afraid she'd leave. I was already being left, slowly, emotionally, in front of my own eyes. I took a breath and said, evenly, "Then being single will be fun too." She looked up, finally, confused, almost amused. "Don't be dramatic," she said. I nodded, stood up, went to the bedroom. I didn't pack in a rush. I chose carefully. Clothes, laptop, documents, the things that mattered. When I walked past her toward the door, she asked where I was going. I said, "To give you the freedom you seem to enjoy." I didn't wait for a response. I drove to my brother Callum's place and slept on his spare bed, staring at the ceiling, heart steady, mind clear in a way it hadn't been for months. The next morning, messages waited. Confusion, accusations, then anger. I replied once, "I won't compete for my own wife." After that, silence. Days passed. She tried calling. I didn't answer, not to punish her, to protect myself. In that space, I saw things clearly. How often I'd minimized my own discomfort. How often I'd been told I was imagining things. Trust without boundaries wasn't trust. It was surrender. A week later, we met to talk. Neutral place. Public. She cried. Said it was nothing. Said I'd overreacted. I listened calmly. When she finished, I said, "Harmless fun doesn't cost you your marriage unless it matters more than respect." She had no answer. Just tears and silence. That told me everything. I filed the paperwork quietly. No theatrics. No announcements. Friends asked what happened. I said we wanted different things. That was true. She wanted attention without accountability. I wanted partnership. The divorce wasn't easy, but it was clean. I kept my dignity. That mattered. Months later, my life is quieter, smaller, also lighter. I cook for myself. I sleep without tension. I don't check my phone wondering who's on the other end. Sometimes I miss who I thought she was, but but I don't miss feeling second place in my own marriage. When someone tells you your discomfort is harmless fun, believe them. They're telling you exactly how seriously they take you. Walking away wasn't revenge. It was self-respect, and that's something I won't flirt with losing again. I learned that love isn't proven by endurance alone. It's proven by mutual care, by choosing each other even when no one is watching. I don't hate Celeste. I don't wish her harm. I just refuse to shrink so someone else can feel validated. There's a strange strength in accepting and ending without forcing blame or begging for closure. I wake up now with clarity, not suspicion. I invest my energy where it's returned. If there's one lesson I carry forward, it's this. Boundaries are not ultimatums. They're invitations to respect. When someone declines that invitation, leaving is not failure. It's alignment. I chose peace over confusion, truth over comfort, and myself over a marriage that had already quietly let me go. For good measure.